Imagine waking up tomorrow with the same 24 hours as everyone else. Yet by the end of the day, you're leagues ahead of where most people will ever get. The truth is, time doesn't wait for anyone, and it certainly doesn't care about excuses. Every second you let slip by without intention, without strategy, is a second surrendered to mediocrity. But here's the secret few people understand. Mastery over your hours isn't about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters, with precision, discipline, and focus. Today, I'm not going to give you vague tips or cliches about working harder. I'm going to show you how to own your day hour by hour so that by the time night falls, you don't just feel busy, you feel powerful, accomplished, and unstoppable. This isn't theory. This is a blueprint for real success, and it starts with the way you choose to spend every single moment of your 24 hours. Every day, when you wake up, you are handed the same 24 hours as everyone else. There's no exception, no negotiation, and no pause button. What you choose to do with those hours defines not just your day, but your life. Think of yourself as an operative on a high-stakes mission, because that's exactly what it is. Every task, every decision, every conversation is a move in a game that doesn't wait for hesitation or doubt. The people who accomplish extraordinary things aren't necessarily more talented or smarter than you. They are simply more disciplined in how they allocate their hours. They understand that success doesn't schedule itself around convenience. You must take control, and that control begins the moment you open your eyes. Approach your day as if it were an assignment that only you can complete. Prioritize the actions that will move you closer to your objectives and cut everything else out. In a world full of distractions, saying no is more powerful than saying yes. Each hour is a tool, a resource that can build empires or dissolve into nothing if left unattended. When you understand that your time is finite, you stop taking it for granted. You start moving with purpose, treating your calendar with the same respect a seasoned operative treats a mission plan. There is no room for hesitation, no room for idle scrolling or wasted energy. Every second carries weight, and your awareness of that weight is what separates the average from the exceptional. Discipline is not about rigid schedules or robotic routines. It's about consistency and intentionality. It's about showing up for yourself every single day and executing with precision. Some days will feel like battles, and some moments will test your resolve. But this is the crucible in which real success is forged. By treating your 24 hours as a mission, you build a mindset that thrives under pressure. You stop waiting for motivation to strike, because you understand that action creates momentum. The mission doesn't pause for fear, fatigue, or uncertainty. You either move forward or you fall behind. And falling behind is not an option when you are in charge of your own success. Remember that small choices compound over time. The hours you invest in growth, in focus, and in mastering your craft accumulate in ways that are invisible in the moment, but unstoppable in the long run. The operative who respects their time doesn't waste it on trivialities. They allocate it strategically, guarding their attention as if it were the most valuable asset they possess. Every hour treated as a mission hour becomes an opportunity to learn, to progress, and to set the stage for tomorrow. There is immense power in this perspective. It changes the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately, the way you win. So, when you leave this moment, approach your next 24 hours with intention. Treat them as a mission you cannot afford to fail. Plan, execute, and hold yourself accountable like a leader on a critical assignment. Your success, your growth, and your legacy are determined not by luck, but by how seriously you take the hours you are given. When you act with this level of purpose, every day becomes a victory, every hour a triumph, and every decision a step toward the life you are capable of commanding. Not everything you face in a day deserves your attention. The world is filled with noise, distractions, and endless, urgent tasks that steal your energy without moving you forward. If you want to achieve extraordinary results, you must learn to prioritize ruthlessly. This doesn't mean doing more. It means doing what matters most and refusing to be pulled in every direction by everyone else's agenda. Every hour you give to something trivial is an hour stolen from your purpose. The key to mastery of your 24 hours is understanding the difference between what demands your attention and what simply clamors for it. To prioritize ruthlessly, you must first get brutally honest with yourself. What tasks, habits, or commitments are truly propelling you toward your goals? Which ones are distractions disguised as productivity? Most people live their days reacting to notifications, emails, or other people's priorities, and they wonder why progress feels slow. The moment you recognize that not all demands are equal, you gain a new kind of power, the power to decide what deserves your focus and what doesn't. This isn't just strategy, it's self-respect. Every time you give your energy to something that doesn't matter, you're silently telling yourself that your time is not valuable. And it is. Once you identify what truly moves the needle, guard it fiercely. Schedule your most important work at the hours when your energy is highest and defend it as if your success depends on it. Because it does. Say no without guilt. Block interruptions. Remove the clutter that drains your mind and saps your drive. It may feel uncomfortable at first, because saying no often triggers resistance from others, but comfort never builds greatness. Ruthless prioritization is not about being harsh to others. It's about being honest with yourself about what your goals demand and refusing to compromise on them. This also means learning to cut losses quickly. Some projects, relationships, or routines may seem harmless or even necessary, but if they do not align with your ultimate mission, they are weighing you down. Real power comes from letting go of what doesn't serve you without hesitation. Every choice you make is either an investment in your growth or a distraction from it. The difference between the successful and the average is rarely talent or luck. It's the ability to focus relentlessly on what matters and eliminate the rest. Ruthless prioritization is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. Each morning, you must reassess, decide, and commit. You will face competing demands, tempting distractions, and unexpected interruptions, but your ability to maintain clarity and focus will determine your progress. By consistently choosing what truly matters and discarding the rest, you create momentum. You build confidence. You signal to yourself and to the world that your time is sacred. Your mission is non-negotiable, and your results are inevitable. The 24 hours you have each day are finite, and how you prioritize them will decide whether you drift through life or move decisively toward success. Too often, people wait for monumental breakthroughs, thinking success comes in giant leaps. The truth is, it doesn't. Success compounds quietly, step by step, action by action, victory by victory. Each small win, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, is a building block. It is proof that you can take control of your day, that you can accomplish what you set out to do, and that you are capable of momentum. The operative who understands this doesn't wait for motivation or inspiration. They create it through action. By focusing on small, achievable steps, you turn overwhelm into progress, and progress into confidence. Breaking your day into achievable goals is not about limiting ambition. It's about creating structure. Large tasks can paralyze the mind, but when you divide them into manageable segments, they become conquerable. Each completed step is a win that energizes you to tackle the next. Think of your day as a series of missions, each one small, but each one critical to the outcome of the larger operation. By accomplishing these micro goals, you establish control, demonstrate discipline, and prove to yourself that your efforts yield tangible results. Small wins are the proof of your capability, and capability fuels courage. Momentum is the hidden force behind every high achiever. One small victory leads to another, and suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The day that starts with small accomplishments creates a ripple effect of focus, energy, and clarity. You stop procrastinating because you are building confidence with every task completed. Each success reinforces the mindset that you are capable, that your time is valuable, and that you can achieve more than you thought possible. Small wins are not trivial. They are the foundation of extraordinary results. Celebrating small wins also trains your brain to recognize progress, not just perfection. Most people fail because they focus only on the finish line, ignoring the steps that get them there. By acknowledging every action that moves you forward, you maintain motivation and discipline. Every check mark on your list, every task completed, is a signal to yourself that your efforts matter. It's not about arrogance or self-congratulation. It's about reinforcement. Reinforcement builds consistency. Consistency builds excellence. And excellence compounds into success. Finally, small wins teach patience and persistence. Real achievement is rarely instant. It is earned through deliberate actions, repeated daily, until those actions become habits and those habits become results. When you focus on small, meaningful victories, you protect your confidence from the setbacks and distractions that inevitably arise. You create a rhythm of success that is sustainable, reliable, and unstoppable. Mastering the power of small wins means mastering your 24 hours, because every hour becomes an opportunity to progress, to achieve, and to prove to yourself that you are relentless, capable, and unstoppable. The way you start your morning determines the trajectory of your entire day. If you wake up reacting to chaos, scrolling through notifications, or rushing without purpose, you are giving away control before you even begin. Your mornings are not just a part of your day, they are the command center of your life. When you establish routines that sharpen your mind, energize your body, and clarify your purpose, you set a tone that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The morning is your first mission, and if you own it, you own the day. Start with intention. Don't allow your thoughts to wander to yesterday's failures or tomorrow's worries. Begin with clarity, with a focus on what matters most. High performers do not stumble into their mornings. They step into them with precision. They prepare their minds for success, knowing that mental discipline in the first hours compounds throughout the day. By prioritizing focus and intention early, you set a standard for yourself that will carry through every decision, every conversation, and every action. Your morning is your proving ground, and the habits you build here define the level of control you exert over your life. Physical energy fuels mental sharpness, and that is why your body must be part of your morning routine. Movement, exercise, or even deliberate stretching awakens more than your muscles. It wakes your determination, your drive, and your resilience. When your body is active, your mind follows. The operative who understands this knows that lethargy is a stealthy adversary. It saps your focus, clouds your judgment, and diminishes your performance. By taking care of your physical state first, you are arming yourself with clarity, endurance, and confidence to handle whatever challenges the day throws at you. Mental preparedness is equally essential. Spend time on reflection, visualization, or planning. Mentally rehearsing your priorities, visualizing outcomes, and grounding yourself in purpose ensures that every choice you make is deliberate. You are not drifting, you are executing. The morning sets the psychological tone for resilience. When you intentionally align your thoughts with your goals, you stop reacting to life and start shaping it. The power of this practice is subtle but unstoppable. It turns ordinary mornings into launch pads for extraordinary days. Finally, own your mornings by creating a ritual that you protect fiercely. Guard these hours as you would a critical mission. Remove distractions, set boundaries, and dedicate this time to preparing your mind, body, and spirit for success. This is where discipline meets freedom. By controlling the first hours of your day, you command the hours that follow. The mornings you own are the days you dominate. The weeks you control are the years you shape. Every successful person understands that mornings are not a passive part of life. They are the leverage point. Own them, and you own the trajectory of your entire life. Time is the one resource you can never earn back, and yet most people treat it as if it were limitless. Every second that passes is gone forever, whether you use it wisely or squander it. There is no rewind button, no pause, and no extension granted to those who procrastinate or hesitate. The harsh reality is that indecision, delay, and distraction carry a cost far greater than most realize. Every hour you waste is an hour that could have been spent advancing your goals, strengthening your skills, or moving closer to the life you dream of. Respect your time the way a seasoned operative respects a critical mission, because in truth, that is exactly what it is. Procrastination is the silent thief of success. It creeps in disguised as comfort or preparation, convincing you that waiting is harmless, that tomorrow will offer a better opportunity. But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the clock ticks on regardless of your readiness. Mastery over your 24 hours demands urgency. It demands that you act decisively, even when conditions aren't perfect, because time waits for no one. The operative who achieves excellence doesn't wait for clarity or motivation. They create it through action. Every moment you spend hesitating is a moment surrendered to mediocrity, and the consequences accumulate faster than most can see. Every decision you make about how to use your hours compounds into the quality of your life. Time is not a commodity to spend casually. It is the framework of your existence. The people who rise to the top understand that success is not about talent alone. It is about how ruthlessly they protect and allocate the minutes, hours, and days that others take for granted. They guard their attention, defend their focus, and eliminate distractions because they know that every second is an opportunity, and opportunity is fleeting. Treat your time with reverence because it is the most powerful asset you possess. Living with this awareness changes everything. When you internalize that time is non-renewable, you stop indulging in activities that drain your energy without return. You stop chasing trivial pleasures that offer temporary satisfaction but no lasting impact. You start acting with precision, intention, and urgency. Every email, every conversation, every decision is filtered through the lens of value. You ask yourself, does this advance my mission or does it steal my time? This mindset transforms ordinary days into engines of achievement and ordinary moments into steps toward greatness. Ultimately, respecting time is about honoring yourself. It is about understanding that how you spend each hour defines not just what you accomplish, but who you become. The clock does not pause, and neither should your ambition. By treating every second as precious, by acting decisively and protecting your focus, you ensure that your 24 hours are spent in service of your highest goals. This is the discipline of champions, the mindset of leaders, and the difference between those who drift through life and those who command it. Every second counts. Make it matter. The world constantly tells us to do more, to juggle multiple tasks at once, to spread our attention thin across endless distractions. But excellence is not born from multitasking. It is born from focus. The operative who achieves results understands that real power comes from dedicating yourself entirely to one mission, one objective, 1 hour at a time. When you scatter your attention, nothing receives your full energy, your full intellect, or your full determination. Focus is not merely a skill, it is a weapon. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Multitasking is a trap disguised as productivity. The mind cannot truly process multiple high-stakes tasks at once. It switches rapidly between them, losing efficiency, clarity, and momentum with each shift. The cost of divided attention is subtle, often unnoticed, yet devastating over time. Small errors, delayed results, and wasted energy compound until the day ends with a sense of busyness but without meaningful achievement. The high achiever refuses this fate. They dedicate blocks of time to one mission and attack it with intensity, discipline, and clarity. Focused action produces results. Fragmented action produces noise. The ability to concentrate is a choice, a commitment to excellence. It requires eliminating distractions, setting boundaries, and being unapologetic about the time and energy you devote to what matters most. Your phone, your email, even well-meaning interruptions are tools of sabotage unless controlled. When you claim uninterrupted space for your highest priorities, you signal to yourself and the world that your mission is non-negotiable. You become deliberate in thought and precise in action. The depth of your focus determines the height of your achievement. Focus also sharpens your mental endurance. The operative who trains their mind to remain on task despite fatigue, noise, or competing demands gains a power few others develop. The ability to persist, to remain present with one objective, allows insight, creativity, and mastery to emerge naturally. Multitasking dilutes these qualities, while sustained attention cultivates them. The more you practice deep focus, the more you accomplish in less time, and the more confident and unstoppable you become. Focus compounds results. Distraction compounds regret. Finally, focus is about respect. Respect for your goals, respect for your time, and respect for yourself. By dedicating your attention fully to what matters, you honor the potential within you. You turn ordinary hours into meaningful accomplishments, ordinary tasks into opportunities for mastery. One mission, one objective, 1 hour at a time is not limitation. It is liberation. It frees you from chaos, from overwhelm, and from mediocrity. Excellence is never accidental. It is deliberate, it is disciplined, and it is born from the power of unwavering focus. Every hour you devote to singular purpose becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Most people think managing their day is about managing the clock, but the truth is far more subtle and far more powerful. Time is just a vessel. Energy is the engine that drives accomplishment. You can schedule every hour meticulously, but if your mind is foggy, your body is drained, and your focus is scattered, those hours are wasted. The operative who achieves results understands this instinctively. Mastery over your day comes from managing your energy, not just your time. Knowing when your mind is sharpest, when your body is strongest, and when your focus is at its peak is the secret weapon of high performers. Energy fluctuates naturally throughout the day, and ignoring that rhythm is one of the most costly mistakes you can make. Attempting to tackle demanding tasks when you are exhausted is like sending a soldier into battle without training or weapons. The work may get done, but it will lack precision, efficiency, and excellence. Instead, map your own energy cycles. Identify the hours when you feel alert, decisive, and powerful, and reserve these for the work that requires creativity, strategy, or high-level thinking. The rest of the day can be allocated to maintenance, routine, or tasks that demand less cognitive load. By aligning your actions with your energy, you multiply productivity without working longer hours. Managing energy also means protecting it vigilantly. Just as a top operative avoids unnecessary risks, you must shield your vitality from drains that offer no return. Distractions, excessive social media, poorly timed meetings, and even low-value interactions consume more than just time. They consume focus, willpower, and drive. Guard your energy as fiercely as your most critical mission. When you protect your peak hours, you ensure that every ounce of mental and physical power is available when it counts. You are no longer a passive participant in your day. You are commanding it with precision. Energy management also requires self-awareness and discipline. You must know when to push and when to pause, when to work with intensity, and when to recharge. Attempting to force productivity during low-energy periods is counterproductive and demoralizing. Conversely, working in alignment with your natural rhythms allows you to enter a state of flow where tasks feel less like toil and more like execution of purpose. Flow multiplies results and sharpens focus, turning ordinary work into extraordinary outcomes. Finally, understanding that energy is finite fosters respect for both yourself and your mission. By prioritizing tasks according to your peak performance windows, you ensure that your efforts have maximum impact. Every decision, every action, every effort is amplified. You stop grinding blindly and start operating strategically. Excellence is not about how many hours you put in. It's about how effectively you use the hours when you are at your best. When you master energy, you master your day. Every high-value hour becomes a weapon, every surge of focus a tool, and every action a step toward unstoppable success. Accountability is the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Most people drift through their days, blaming circumstances, other people, or luck for their lack of progress. The operative who succeeds understands that external factors are irrelevant when internal standards are high. True success is not granted by chance. It is earned by those who hold themselves to a standard higher than anyone else could demand. You must become your own commander, your own auditor, and your own judge. No excuses, no delays, no compromises. Self-discipline is non-negotiable, and accountability is the framework that makes it real. Holding yourself accountable begins with honesty. It means looking at your day, your choices, and your results without sugarcoating or rationalization. Every time you skip a task, delay a decision, or settle for mediocrity, you are breaking an unspoken promise to yourself. Accountability requires acknowledging that you are responsible for your outcomes, no matter how difficult, uncomfortable, or inconvenient the truth may be. The moment you take full ownership of your actions, you gain power. The operative who never shifts blame, never hesitates, never falters, and never surrenders control of their mission. Accountability also demands consistency. It's not enough to hold yourself to high standards when it's convenient or when the stakes are low. Real discipline is forged in the hours when no one is watching, in the small, repeated actions that accumulate into excellence. This means following through on commitments, completing tasks with precision, and executing every part of your plan without compromise. It means doing what needs to be done even when you feel tired, unmotivated, or distracted. The habit of accountability transforms ordinary effort into results that compound over time, building trust in yourself and confidence in your abilities. Being accountable also means setting measurable standards for your own performance. Ambiguity is the enemy of discipline. If you are unclear about what success looks like in any given task, it is impossible to hold yourself accountable. Define your objectives, set clear expectations, and create benchmarks that allow you to measure progress. The operative who thrives is the one who evaluates their performance rigorously, learns from mistakes, and adjusts without hesitation. Accountability is not punishment. It is a tool for growth, mastery, and unstoppable momentum. Finally, accountability is empowerment. When you hold yourself to the same standards you would expect from the most elite operator, you no longer rely on external validation, deadlines, or pressure to act. You become self-sufficient, decisive, and formidable. Every action you take aligns with your highest goals because you refuse to compromise. You no longer drift, procrastinate, or blame. You execute. The strength of accountability is that it transforms intentions into results, potential into achievement, and hours into victories. The 24 hours you are given become a measure of your discipline, your commitment, and your relentless pursuit of success. When you embrace accountability fully, you become unstoppable. At the end of every day, the most powerful thing you can do is pause and reflect. Reflection is not a passive activity. It is an active evaluation of how you spent your hours, what you accomplished, and where you fell short. The operative who consistently excels does not wait for success to announce itself. They analyze, they assess, and they adjust. Every action, every decision, every moment is an opportunity to learn, and the discipline to look honestly at your performance separates those who grow from those who remain stagnant. Without reflection, your efforts risk becoming random motion rather than deliberate progress. Reflection requires honesty and courage. It demands that you confront mistakes, acknowledge where your focus slipped, and recognize when you allowed distractions or inefficiency to seep in. Most people shy away from this because it is uncomfortable, but discomfort is where growth lives. By facing the truth about your performance, you gain clarity. You see patterns in your behavior, discover weaknesses to address, and uncover strengths to leverage. Reflection transforms experience into knowledge and knowledge into actionable insight. It is the tool that turns repetition into improvement and routine into mastery. Adjustment is the natural partner of reflection. Learning from your daily review is meaningless if you do not act on it. Every insight, no matter how small, is a lever you can use to improve your results tomorrow. The operative does not dwell on failure or get lost in self-criticism. They recalibrate, re-strategize, and move forward with precision. Even subtle changes, shifting the timing of a task, refining a routine, or eliminating an overlooked distraction, can create exponential results over time. The power of adjustment lies in its compounding effect. Consistent refinement multiplies productivity, sharpens focus, and accelerates progress far beyond what sporadic effort could achieve. Reflection and adjustment also cultivate awareness. When you review your day, you become conscious of how you spend your energy, how you prioritize, and how your habits shape your outcomes. Awareness is a precursor to mastery. Without it, you are blindly executing routines, unaware of inefficiencies and missed opportunities. By taking time each day to assess and fine-tune, you transform yourself from a passive participant in your life into a deliberate architect of your destiny. Each adjustment is a blueprint for more effective action, more precise focus, and more consistent results. Finally, reflection and adjustment instill resilience. Life will never be perfectly predictable, and setbacks are inevitable. But when you have the habit of reviewing and recalibrating, every challenge becomes an opportunity to learn rather than a reason to falter. You adapt quickly, refine your approach, and maintain momentum regardless of circumstances. This habit builds confidence, sharpens judgment, and ensures that every day, no matter how imperfect, contributes to your long-term success. The 24 hours you are given become not just a measure of time, but a platform for constant growth. By reflecting honestly and adjusting deliberately, you ensure that each day leaves you stronger, sharper, and closer to the life you are determined to command. Your life is not a series of random moments. It is a 24-hour operation, a mission that requires strategy, precision, and relentless execution. Every hour you are given is an asset, every minute a tool to build the future you desire. The choices you make in the present are not isolated, they compound, creating the foundation for your legacy. If you treat your hours carelessly, your results will reflect it. If you approach your day with focus, discipline, and purpose, you set in motion a chain of achievements that no external circumstance can undo. Understanding that every day is a mission transforms the way you act, the way you think, and the way you command your life. Every hour matters, not just the big moments. Success is rarely the result of singular acts of genius. It is the accumulation of consistent, intentional decisions executed daily. The operative who thrives does not wait for a perfect scenario. They take control of each hour, treating every task, no matter how small, as critical to the mission. Checking emails, making calls, planning the next step, these are not trivial activities when approached with intention. Each moment spent deliberately adds to your momentum, while each wasted moment chips away at your potential. Your mission is continuous, and your responsibility is to remain vigilant, disciplined, and intentional with every passing second. Planning and prioritization are your strategic tools. You must know what deserves your attention and what does not. A 24-hour operation cannot succeed without clarity of purpose. Define your objectives, identify the critical tasks, and allocate your energy to the actions that will move the needle most effectively. This is not theoretical, it is operational. Treat your hours like a top-secret mission plan. Each segment has a purpose, each action has a goal, and each decision is aligned with a larger vision. By respecting the structure of your day, you create a framework for achievement that is unstoppable. Execution requires discipline and accountability. Planning is useless without follow-through. You must hold yourself to the highest standards, demanding excellence from every choice you make. Distractions will come, temptations will appear, and fatigue will test your resolve, but the operative does not yield. You stay on mission, execute with precision, and maintain focus. This is the difference between drifting through life and actively shaping it. Every hour of your 24-hour operation is an opportunity to strengthen your momentum, sharpen your skills, and advance toward your goals. Finally, understand that the way you manage today determines the legacy of tomorrow. Your actions, habits, and decisions are not isolated. They ripple outward, defining the person you become and the impact you leave behind. By owning every minute, by treating each hour as a mission-critical asset, you create a life of purpose, achievement, and mastery. You stop leaving your future to chance and begin commanding it with authority. Every day is a chance to prove to yourself that you are relentless, disciplined, and capable of extraordinary results. The 24 hours you have are yours to command. Use them wisely, and you will shape a life that reflects the power, focus, and intention with which you lived it.